I know the scriptures say, "Let the workman who putteth his hand to the plow and turn back to look behind him is not worthy of the kingdom of heaven." And of course that means that if you look back to your starting place, if you are constantly looking around at the job that has been left behind you, then there is pride mixed in there, and you are not looking forward to the final goal or the final destination. But I was sitting here meditating this morning and thinking about my younger years, especially without God, and how I thought that in my very limited world that I had control of so much, and that in effect the earth didn't revolve around the sun, it revolved around me. And I was my own God. I depended only upon myself for companionship, for leading, for decisions, for everything that was in my little world. I depended on George. And there was no God in my world, or a God in the form that we think of. George was his own God. And I think about reading the Bible for the third or the fourth time and going through some of the old writings in the Old Testament, where the writer says, "It's you that hung the world upon nothing, and it's you that setteth upon the circle of the earth." An ancient writer purported to be the very first book of the Bible, and that is the book of Job. And the reason that they say that is because Israel, Abraham, Hebrews, none of those are mentioned. And so they theorize that Job existed before these people did. But he says, and he mentions some constellations: Orion, Pleiades, Arcturus. Constellations that were generally unknown at the time. And then, thousands of years later, man still believed that the earth was flat and it rested upon a turtle, the back of a turtle or the shell of a turtle. When we look at the Holy Scriptures, we are reading not only the wisdom of God, but the wisdom of the ages. And we cannot, in our own little worlds, fathom it. How do you deal with the wisdom of the ages? How do you stand upon the holy mountain of God and take it all in? My contention is you can't. That's why you need an eternity with Him, to fully understand the massive wealth of knowledge of understanding, of wisdom that is enveloped in that one throne, in that one person. And to know that as he exists, we exist. For he depends upon nothing to dwell in his realm. He does not require fresh air. There's no place that says he requires food, nourishment. He does not require sunlight. But all of these things proceed from him and give life. And because he is, we are. And I wonder many times about the finite understanding of man and how we can look back supposedly millions of years and tell how God's creation was, and tell how these animals reacted, and even how they sounded. But we are loath to look ahead 10 minutes. Now by that I mean I cannot guarantee you that my heart will be beating in 10 minutes. But I can guarantee you that I have, well, as of yesterday, 67 years of past. 67 years of past. And 5 minutes ahead, I cannot be sure of what's coming. But we serve a God who has not only seen eternity past, he's been in it. We serve a God that is not only in the present, but he is also with us in eternity future. And he has a plan to work out with his eternal beings, meaning us, for the good of that future infinity. Can our minds grasp it? Can our understanding grab a hold of it? Can we know the true feature of God? Or are we just touching the hem of his garment, so to speak? O Master, let us know the true you. Let us thirst after those things which are above and not below. And let us know, Father, that with our wisdom we are not even beginning to grasp who you are, what you are, and why you are. Father, help us to be a people who are eternally humble before you, who actually take in your glory and your greatness and multiply it and send it back to you every time we come into your presence. May we acknowledge that you are the God of the past, present, and future. You dwell in all three at once, while we plod along day by day considering our greatness and either expanding on it or putting it in its proper perspective. Lord, cause thy people to come to thee and to seek thee and thy wisdom. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.